YouTube! It's spring! And you know what that means? Allergies mostly. But it also means spring fashion. And so on stream for a while ago, we decided to look at some articles regarding spring fashion-y stuff to just kind of see what's going to be, well, what's projected to be the trends of spring 2022. We looked at these before we started designing the spring-summer outfits, so this is a little bit a while ago, but, you know. So anyways, enjoy us looking at fashion-y stuff. And if you'd like to join us looking at fashion-y stuff or designing fashion-y stuff, then be sure to join me on Twitch. But anyways, to the VOD! But yeah, so we're looking at, I figured InStyle is probably, it's one of the bigger fashion website things. Obviously, okay. Alright, so my first go-to for general fashion trends, I'm like, you know what, Vogue is kind of like the basic bitch go-to, like, big, high fashion stuff and runways and stuff, and so I looked at Vogue, and I'm like, these are awful. And I immediately remembered why I usually completely fucking ignore high fashion, and it's because it's all fucking ridiculous. Also, this article came out in October of last year, so that's how early the fashion industry tends to get on trends, is apparently fucking fall of the previous year, which I guess makes sense to a degree, but that means these designers had them designed, like, way earlier than that, which means, boy oh boy do I not know what I'm fucking doing with designing my shit now. Maybe throughout the course of this year I'll figure that out. High fashion is for people with stands. Yeah, it is. And normal people don't wear that shit. And okay, legit, even amongst fucking, like, VTuber fashion, Vogue and like, high fashion, shit like Chanel and whatnot, outside of, like, the little black actually, you know what? Chanel sometimes has, like, they do a lot of weird shit, but they also do some, like, easily... Fuck, I don't know what word I'm looking for. I might need a second cup of coffee. I was gonna make a cup of coffee because I'm like, I am fucking exhausted and dead and my brain feels like melted cheese. But anyways, what I was fucking saying about fucking, like, high fashion and Vogue and shit is that their clothes are fucking ridiculous and not even VTubers would wear that shit. And like, as bombastic as VTuber clothes can get sometimes, I don't think even most VTubers would wear anything on the fucking, like, high fashion runways. And I want to design outfits for, like, you know, regular normal people. And by that I mean anime people on the internet, but also normal people. So I went to the next best step, and that was InStyle, and this article looks pretty interesting. Quite frankly, let's be 100% honest, as far as real life fucking clothes go, the current InStyle is goddamn pajama pants, sweats and a sweatshirt, and fucking, like, pandemic clothes, because we're still in the midst of a fucking pandemic. Nobody's out here fucking worrying about the goddamn actual spring trends of 2022 in real life. No, everybody's fucking wearing sweats. But fucking actual people, normal, you know, people in real life, I don't think anybody gives a shit about fucking spring 2022's trends, because we're all gonna spend it in our houses anyways. Nobody gives a shit. But I'm Hershey's Kiss, wearing Hershey's Kiss. See? Exactly. Pajamas. Honestly, I don't totally hate the trends right now. Or the projected trends, really. Like, that's the thing. It's like, it's not even fucking spring yet, so how do you even know what the fucking spring 2022 trends are if we're not there yet? You don't know what people are regularly wearing in the future. That's not how a trend works. But, like, have you guys ever thought about that? How they're not actually the spring or whatever seasonal trends that our magazines say, because you can't actually project a trend ahead of time. You don't know what people are actually going to be wearing. The only time that you can accurately describe a seasonal trend is after it happens. And like I said, the 2022 spring trend is going to be fucking pajamas. And pandemic hair. But we're not talking about this in real life. We're talking about this in terms of designing clothes for anime people on the internet who actually still wear clothes. I say, even though I'm still just wearing flannel. So anyways, blah 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 blah. I don't care about this. So, see, this is what I fucking mean about, like, runway fashion. Nobody in their right mind in the real world is actually fucking wearing that. Okay, so, blah, blah, blah. Things you already have in your... blah, 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 blah. So... color blocking... so Peppa, blah, 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 two-toned pieces popped throughout fashion months, but the color block look is easy enough to create with your own clothes, and combine multiple vibrant pieces in a single look, pairing a bright colored top with equally bold bottoms. So, big blocks of colors, apparently. Which, I mean, okay, if we ignore the whatever the hell that hat is, this isn't too bad of a look, all things considered. Like, it's just some, I think that's a skirt. I'm pretty sure that's a skirt. Almost looks like denim, but you know what? That's honestly not that bad of a look, all things considered. It's a little bit bombastic, but overall not bad. So, big blocky colors. Also, those socks. I don't know what the hell those socks are. We're gonna ignore those socks. But apparently crazy cutouts are in, which that's a very JoJo thing. Very JoJo. Fucking getting that stand fashion in. I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. I especially don't like bubble skirts. I've never liked bubble skirts. I think they're kind of tacky. It just looks like a giant sleeve. Shrunken styles. So apparently this is a thing that's coming back, and this is what intrigued me the most, is Y2K fashion. So for anybody who's around in the fucking 90s specifically, you will remember this very specific look, and we're gonna look at the article that they link to after that. Tried getting yeah. Fucking back in the 90s, and especially the early 2000s, like the early 2000s, like 2002 level eras, it was super insanely popular for really, really small clothes, like itty bitty fucking t-shirts that came out to be tube tops essentially, and really small oversized jacket, or not oversized, but really small like little tiny jackets, not like big jackets, but like smaller jackets like this, especially sheer jackets were very much a thing, and apparently the general Y2K early 2000s style is coming back, and that excites me as, you know, a fucking millennial who wore that shit in high school. So apparently Y2K fashion is coming back. I guess we've kind of already seen those with the Junko jeans. This one interests me. The kitten heels. I hate these things. I fucking hate these things. I remember when these were a thing a while ago, and I fucking hate them. I hate them as much as I do now as I did then. They just give me a ridiculous amount of fucking anxiety. You're gonna break everything in those heels. You're gonna break the heel, you're gonna break, especially the pointy fucking toe at the front. I hate pointy-toed high heels. They're both ugly and very uncomfortable to fucking wear. If you've ever worn a fucking pointy toe high heel, that shit squeezes the fuck out of your foot. It is never a comfortable shoe, and it doesn't look good. And this fucking heel, I hate it. But moving on. Platforms may be having... Let's stick to the platforms. But if break your ankle styles aren't quite your thing, you may want to go for the opposite route. Yeah, no, you're still gonna break your fucking ankle on that. Look at that, it's going backwards. Naked dresses, those I remember very distinctly Oh, when were those insanely popular? Around, I think it was like 2009. These kinds of dresses were really popular. It was like a sheer or like a lace like this one overdress, and then it just had like the skin tone bottom. I think I even had a couple, I don't know if I had dresses, but I know I at least had like a couple tops that were like this. Very popular fashion for a hot minute there. It didn't really last long though, I don't think. But I have mixed feelings on this style though, because it looks exactly what they say. It looks like you're fucking running around naked, and you know, no thank you. No thank you. I don't really need that image for anybody ever. But at the same time, it does look really cute, especially if you get it in a natural tone that's not exact to your skin tone, so you can tell that there is another layer underneath. Then I think the neutral tone, especially with a white lace, actually looks really good. And that's one of the few times that you're ever gonna hear me say anything positive about neutral tones. I don't normally like neutral tones. I like colors. Vibrant fucking colors. And blacks. I like... Okay, here's the weird thing, right? Very specifically, in very specific cases, I will like kind of skin tone, neutral tones like that. But in many cases, there is one color, also, well, not color, that I actually really like a lot, and that's gray, but it has to be striped and next to black or white. Specifically black or white and white. Black and white. If it's next to just black, or if it's next to black and white, then a gray stripe actually looks boss as fuck. But I think that's just because I was an emo in the early 2000s, and so that was a whole ass fucking look. I mean, normally it was the black and white stripes, but you get a gray and black stripe in, and that was a look. I liked it. So, you know. My point is that neutral tones are a very rare case, but this kind of look, when it's not exact to your actual skin tone, so it doesn't actually look like you're running around naked, then it looks actually kind of really nice. Especially with a light-colored lace. Wow, is that the end of it? Really? Okay, whatever. Okay, that was sudden and abrupt. But we're gonna look at another one. Like I mentioned in this one, we looked at another list about specifically Y2K fashions that are coming back, and that one's kind of exciting, and it's probably a little bit longer because I had a lot more to say about it, because this was very much in my wheelhouse. So that will be a future video, is looking at that list as well. I want to do more stuff like this in the future. Looking at articles about specific trends that are coming up, or past trends, or like general fashion study kind of things. We'll see what happens, but for the most part, we're gonna do more of this stuff in general, because it's kind of fun. Also, my arms are clipping through this shirt. I'm just too buff for my clothes. I'm just hulking out of my clothes. That's beside the point. So this is gonna be it for this video. But yeah, feel free to join us over on Twitch. I stream on Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 11 p.m. PST, which is about, I think it was like 6, 7 a.m. GMT, I think, something like that. I don't know. PST is weird, and it's daylight savings times right now, so everything's all kind of extra foobly wobbly. So, I don't know. Anyways, I have the schedule actually up on my Twitch, so it'll tell you exactly what it is in your time zone. And other than that, like, follow me on Twitter, I guess. I always post when I'm going live and all that good fun stuff, as well as, you know, all the other stuff that I do. So anyways, that's, yeah. So I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!